Hello everyone. How are y'all doing today? I am back with another stream. Not sure when I'm going to do this again, but I am here right now. And today we're going to do some different fashion designs because, I don't know, I'm bored and I thought it'd be fun, so yeah. Let's see if I can get my camera good. We're gonna try and do this. Let's see if that one. Honestly, I don't know what is wrong with my camera, but it's never good. Like, no matter what I do, I can't get it to the full screen. So this is what we're gonna have to deal with, I guess. Let's see if I can do this. I like that a bit better. Hello. How is everyone doing today? Once again, I am gonna be doing some fashion designing, so yeah. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a plant that specifically a flower that I really love. I really want to get it for my room, but I haven't had the chance yet. It's called, honestly, I don't even know how to probably pronounce it. I call it a fuchsia plant. Fuchsai. And they're like these really pretty things that used to remind people of earrings. I don't blame them, honestly. That's really freaking pretty like that. And yeah. I have, they actually used to be called ladies' eardrops, which I guess would probably a name for earrings back in someone's day. Can you guys even hear me? Why is this? Hello? One sec, something just went off in my stream. Hello? Whatever. If you hear chickens in the background, just be known that I do, in fact, have chickens, sadly. I do not like them. They are quite annoying if you ask me. Okay, so you can't hear me. Great. But yeah, if you hear squawking, it's either the chickens or the turkeys. Joy. I'm just gonna call that good for the music and call it a day and get started on this. This fashion design, first of all, is going to be like a very simple one because the flower itself is a very simple flower. Here is yep. That's the flower. Typically the flower has pink and magenta, which is probably why it correlates with the idea of love so much and the symbolic meaning of it. But yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Then I have that. Oh, there goes something. There we go. That way you can focus more on what I'm doing. So yeah, fuchsia. I think the word fuchsia comes from Germany, or like somewhere around that name, somewhere around that way. But I'm not sure where the plant originates from. But I can look it up real quick. Apparently, it originally originates from mainly South America, but it also can go into Mesoamerica and sometimes Mexico, which will explain why someone who lives in South Central America, I think I said North, but it doesn't go to North America, which is why I have never seen it before. Even with the simple design of the plant, I feel like the design is relatively basic compared to other designs, especially if you translate it into a dress. But at the same time, as like whenever I make dress designs, there's so many things you can do with it. It's always a question to what do I do first, you know? I think I'm gonna add a flared top and then a more slim down bottom, which once again flares just a tad bit around the ankles and feet. Boom. I actually kind of like that thing I did. I am gonna shorten this actually quite a bit. I'm gonna have that really short and then add more flare and texture, I guess, to it, because how fuchsia is they have like a leaf that go up kind of like that right above it, and I kind of want to add that into the design. So I'm gonna shorten. Let's go to around here. And did something like that, right? And then you know what I could do instead? And if I frame this, no, that goes out too much, but I want to add some type of frame to it. I don't know. Honestly, I came into this, I'm like, oh, this one's gonna be so easy. This is such an easy one to start with, but no, now I'm having trouble with that. Geesh. I have an idea, but like I'm not sure how I want to draw it. Look at that, I guess. I'm not sure that looks too good though. You know what I could do? No, I don't want. I was thinking of adding bell sleeves to add it, but I don't really want that. I want sleeves like that. And something like that. Let's go to the color now. And I'll mess with it more. Like I said, fuchsia is typically a pink. And go off of pink stuff, so yeah. Pink. Let's highlight. The pink can be from these spots, sometimes from the top leaves as well, but the top leaves can also be a very light color of, not that light, probably about this light color of green. And then though typically it will be pink, and then the bottom will be a type of dark purple or sometimes magenta. Let's see. There's like honestly probably a lot of different colors of fuchsia. I've seen the top green sometimes, but typically it is a type of pink and then a purple. And there's a purple. I'm gonna add some detail here, but I'm not sure what type of detail I want yet. Let's grab a different pen because this one isn't working too well. There we go. Then Can you even see that detail on the thing? Hey. See if you can get a closer look at this detail. Yeah. And then I'm gonna add yellow once I find my yellow marker. It might not even be on this desk. I have so many bags of yellow. I think I'm just going to go with this color. This isn't quite the gold I would like. I'm gonna add the detail of the person because and then let's see. I should use this pink, so and do that. I'm thinking of having one hand up close to the hair because, like I said, the fuchsia plant is often symbolized with not symbolized, but it symbolizes love and all of those beautiful things that come with it and can happen doing this, like doing a love story and all of that stuff. But a part of it also will always mean earrings because of how they hang off the plant. And I might have not originated for this, but I'm still gonna draw it, even though the anatomy is gonna end up like shit. Next time I'll draw the pose beforehand. But I'm thinking of having like to the face, and then I will detail actual earrings coming off the face. I feel like if an actual person were to be wearing this dress, they would have gold enamel jewelry to match it. Mainly because I really love the color gold, and partly because when I think of like ladies wearing earrings, I think of royalty, like like the 1% basically of just people wearing jewelry. Yeah, let's see, what color green do I want? I'm gonna go with this. I'm not sure if this is the right green, but I don't see. Ooh, this is the right green. Give me a minute. And then beautiful. I kind of really like this more than I thought I would. It's like, I feel like it's really basic, but that's also the type of fashion I end up enjoying. It's like the really basic, down to earth fashion. Like I command people who draw like wondrous out of this world fashion. But when I draw fashion, I really enjoy drawing the mundane, down to earth stuff because I want to draw something that people can actually see themselves wearing to a fancy dinner or like out on the town having fun. Like for people who like draw fashion like it's they're wearing a piece of art, like something that like a piece of like a painting that belongs in a museum, then that's beautiful and absolutely wonderful. But when I draw it personally, I want to draw something you can see yourself wearing on, like just out, like I don't know, just regularly without having to take a trip to a museum to do it, you know? Yeah. There is the first dress. Now, let's see what the next one's gonna be. The next one I'm gonna do a Pokemon called Houndoom. Let's see if I can get a quick drawing of it. It's basically kind of like a dog-like Pokemon, except it's covered in skeletons. And it has like kind of like a little Satan tail right there. But they're very loyal, you know, like every dog is. They look a lot more scary than I think they actually are. But they do have a bit of orange. Which is perfect because that's really what I was hoping to draw into the design a bit. No, this pen won't work. What about this? This one would look fine. And yeah, they're also like gray, but so yeah. Let's see, what am I gonna bring to this? First, let's get some information going. Let's see. Maybe like a... I have two different ways I want to draw this. I either want to draw like... One thing I really want to add to this basically is I really want to add marigolds to this. Because it's not really because of like the biology or like the facts of the Pokemon. It's mainly just because it reminds me, and I've seen like it reminds some other people of like the Day of the Dead, you know. I'm not gonna pronounce it because I cannot pronounce it, but yeah, the Day of the Dead. And if you guys don't know what the Day of the Dead is, the Day of the Dead is a Mexican holiday. I think it derives from Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. It might derive from some other Hispanic countries as well, but I only know it from Mexico, where they believe that on there's actually quite a few different ways they celebrate it and days they believe it's on, but some of them believe there's like a few different days of the dead, and each one celebrates a different type of spirit. But most days of the dead involve November 1st, which is a day loved ones and families can cross over if you put an altar up for them. Some people believe that the second is made specifically for the dogs because in a couple different Mesoamerica, even underworlds, they believe that your dog companion in life is what helps you cross over to the different underworlds of the dead. It honestly depends on which specific day of the dead you believe in, I guess. Underworld, I guess you believe in. If you believe in a more traditional Aztec, Incan, Mayan underworld, then there are 5 different underworlds you can fall into depending on how you die. And the most common one for if you just died of old age, natural causes, stuff like that, stuff that doesn't involve a battle, drowning. I think there's an underworld for if you died of storms. Then you go to the House of Maclan, which are some call it the Mansion of Maclan, I think, which are two of the which I think are the gods of the dead. I'm blanking on both the names, but I'm pretty sure both have the Maclan name in it, so that's why it's called the House of Maclan. There's a husband and wife, but to go there you have to travel through other dimensions for 4 years, I believe, until you make it to the house. Like I said, this really depends on what you think the afterlife is, to the details of the Day of the Dead, but because I've heard some people say how the ancestors can really only actually visit you. Why am I trying a skirt? I didn't feel like doing a skirt. I'm going to do a type of skirt, but I don't want that. I think I'm just going to do pants. So I'm going to do all. But anyways, some believe that your ancestors can only actually visit you after 4 years after they died, since they would spend their time traveling. I heard one person say how they believed that, how their personal belief was, just the thing they made up, was how they believed that, for the 4 years they travel, each time on the Day of the Dead, they can see their family, but can't physically visit the realm if the portrait was put up. Some people have a Day of the Dead, where, some people have 5 different days of the dead, all in the same year or so, and one of the years is directly made for all those lost souls, which I think is a beautiful idea. But yeah, there's a lot of different things people believe happen in the afterlife, and I think all of them are equally important and beautiful. I really do enjoy the Day of the Dead because it's kind of just a nice simple day where you can celebrate all those people you've lost, animals included, and it's really sweet because I think from what I noticed, a lot of other religions don't directly mention pets and animals. Well, the Day of the Dead does, and has a moment to commemorate mainly the dogs that have lived in your life and with you, and see them as guardians that will help you in your travel to the underworld, whichever underworld you deserve to be in. But at the same time, personally, I feel like the worlds where the underworlds whatever underworld you go to is determined by how you die is completely and utterly ridiculous, kind of like, I'm gonna offend some people, but just an annoying way to categorize where you deserve to go, because like I said, there's like paradise where like all the heroes of stories go to who died in amazing battles, but all I can think about is, what if there was this great amazing warrior who just choked on a carrot and now has to suffer in some different paradise because he didn't die in a battle? What if he just got sick? The one thing I find really interesting and is about Mesoamerican tradition is that they consider childbirth a fight and a war where the mother has to retrieve the soul of the child and bring it back into this world. And if a woman or child dies in childbirth, then they are immediately sent to the place of heroes, which I think is a really beautiful thing. But hey, what do I know? No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted it to go the other way. Yeah, like that. Nope, that did not work out. Wait. Okay, I'm gonna go. No, because I don't want it. How am I gonna do this one? Sure, that works for me. So let's see. There we go, that's better. And I'll work on this shirt later. I'm thinking of doing just a basic gothic theme for this shirt, like lace. And for those of you who are unaware of what Pokemon is, it's basically this really cool anime slash game, video game slash card game. And there's these creatures that can, once they level up, can change appearance sometimes. And in the X, Y, and Z version of this game, some of the Pokemon can level up real quick and then go back to the original forms. And Houndoom is one of those Pokemons that have an original form. So to Kemba, who has an extra form, I should say, to level up real quick, I guess. I don't know, I'm probably explaining it like really badly, but if you don't know what it is, then I feel like you can live under a rock a bit. But hey, who am I to judge? I live under such a giant rock. It is not always funny, man. Sometimes it's freaking hilarious and I can just laugh at myself, but that is not always the case. Pokemon also have types, and the Houndoom is a fire and dark type, so I will be showing just a bit of that into the work, but yeah. I think I'm just gonna waste most of it and then go crazy with marker so I don't have to think about it too much, because I feel like that's how all my best stuff comes out sometimes is if I just allow myself to go crazy without having to think too much about it. And I feel like that's gonna be the right thing for this one. Just go crazy, man. If I know where my bed markers are. I don't think I do. Give me a minute. Here is a wet pen. I also have like brown, which I guess can be used in this. And another. That's like a maroon color. Ooh, here's a bright red and a bright orange. I also have a gray pen, but I think I ruined it on another drawing a while ago. So let's see what we can do with this. I'm gonna start off with orange and then go from there. And then I'm gonna start on the bottom as well. So one sec. I need to be organized because whenever I start drawing, my desk gets into a mess real freaking quick. There. And then I'm gonna grab this and do something. Boom. Done. Yeah. And here's gonna be my shitty take on a marigold. Oh yeah, did I ever say the connection between the marigolds and the Day of the Dead? I actually, can't remember what the direct meaning is, but basically a lot of them believe that marigolds help line the path to, a lot of people, line the path, not line the path, guide the dead to where they need to be. It's actually really interesting because marigolds are really big in another holiday too, called Diwali, which is a Hindu, I believe, holiday in India where they celebrate light and colors. I watched a minor video that might be true, might be right or wrong, but basically it ended up saying something like, Spaniards or something showed the flower to the people of India, and they thought the bright colors of it was so beautiful. They started using it to help celebrate the holiday Diwali too. Not that I'm 100% sure of it. And hey, if you like the idea of the Day of the Dead, then watch the movie Coco from Disney. It shows some really nice stuff. I feel like I'm talking both about the Day of the Dead and the actual Pokemon right now, but at the same time, I really like talking about mythology, and sadly, the idea of mythology trumps I have a fixation for Pokemon because it's just more present in my life. I don't know if this counts as mythology or just philosophy at this point, because of how Day of the Dead has been throughout history. It might just be more of a philosophy than an actual mythology, but at the same time, I can't remember the fucking difference between those two. Like, at what point does myth and religion travel into a philosophy, and what point do they blend together, you know? But yeah, I'm thinking that's gonna be the basic for the coat. What if I do candles on this one too? I don't know if I like the look of candles. I may not do it on the actual one, but I don't know. There's a thought. Let's leave it at that. There's a thought. And then what if I have like a lace detail here? I don't even know how to draw lace. I just kind of draw circles and dots and call it good. What time is it? I baked these they're supposed to be delicious chocolate. I never actually made them before, anyways. Chocolate thumbprint cookies, and I still need to make the caramel that goes inside the thumbprint. I've just been too lazy. I also need to finish writing a paper for creative writing. But you know what? That's already gonna be turned in late. It can be a couple more days late. I say jokingly. I'm definitely gonna turn it in. If not tonight, tomorrow morning. That is not even. But no one's paying me to be even. No one's paying me in general, so who gives a shit? I'm gonna need that for the pants and call it good. Actually, no, I'm not. And let's see, I'm gonna say the flames go to about here. There. I'm gonna call that good with the flames. I do kind of think I want to do the candles a bit more, so I'm gonna add like 2 candles here. There. And then I was using the yellow for. I'm gonna switch sides and do the yellow more. I feel like marigolds are more orange, but do these freaking oranges even look different? I just realized that. Let me try something. Yeah, there's some difference. There's some difference. And some, they're not very freaking visible, but there's some difference there. Wrong color. Yeah, this is the right color. Please, why did not just break that felt tip? I guess I might not have broken it, just, you know, split it in half like any St. Artist does every once in a while. Yeah. And I'm gonna grab my pen once I find it. Here it is. There we go. I don't know what color to do with it. Maybe I should just leave it like white. I don't know. Like, because like I'm thinking like maybe leave it white like a skeleton, but I could try the gray over here and see if that does anything. I definitely want to leave the bones on it, the skeleton, like the skeletal, I guess you can call it the skeletal part, right? And then I'm gonna mess with the collar, add some detail to the collar, you know? Because what if I add, like, give me a second. Right? That would be... And then... Look how clean and confident those lines came out. I will never do that again in my life. You can't even see what I just did. I'm thinking of, like, adding the horns to the color, because, like, the dog has horns, like, right here. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm leaving a low neck. This is going to be hard for me. And here's a really trashy skull. I'm thinking of this top being, like, laced too. Yeah. Look at that detail. Don't forget to stretch, because, yeah. Also, don't forget to drink water, people, because I had less than a cup of water all day. And that is not good for you. I just really can't feel thirsty, so, yeah. Let's see if I can do this. Yay, I do have some gray left in this pen. Yeah, I'm just gonna make him gray then. Yeah, boom. And then I'm gonna do one stripe coming that way. Grab the fire, bring it up. And then I have found here. Yeah. There. And then I am going to do another color. And that'll be for the shield. Because blue is supposed to symbolize loyalty or some shit. And I feel like if you're... I don't know, I just feel like any dog should be considered loyal, you know? Maybe loyal to only themselves, but still loyal, I guess. Yeah. I'm too lazy to do the other side, so I'm gonna just leave it at that and call it good. Don't you guys love my laziness? I feel like that's everyone's favorite part of who I am. Now, let's pick a flower. I have this beautiful book of The Complete Language of Flowers. I'm not sure how bullshit it is, but you know what? It makes me happy. Who gives a shit? Like, there's so many cultures out there, you can't tell, like, there's so many cultures out there. How can you say if a flower's symbol is right or wrong? Plus, if you, like, there's your idea. Ooh. I don't know if I want to do a pomegranate or not. I kind of just want to do something, like, extremely, like, I'm gonna, like, do, like, extremely simple flowers, and then complex Pokemon, and then, I don't know. Maybe I'll do pomegranate later. I don't want to do pomegranate, because that has so much ties to it. I'm definitely going to do pomegranate now since it's in my head. I'm going to do it one day, maybe tomorrow, and just post it on my Instagram. But I'm not doing it the second. Ooh, I can do an orchid. Let me find an orchid. Oh. Orchids. Here is the page on orchids. I don't know. I think I'm saying it wrong, but whatever. Symbolics. No, I just did a lover. Never mind. Let's try something else. I'm sorry, guys. I'm being freaking picky. Let's see. 317. Let's go there. Maybe this. I just saw a flower name called the Witch's Bell. I have never heard of that before. I'm not sure if I'm just don't know it, like don't know that version of the name, or just literally do not know the flower, but oh, it's not the pages, it's the little flower number. Never mind. I've been looking for the page 313 when it stops at like 10 or something. Not 10, 200. Let's see. Okay, so apparently the common foxglove, the scientific name, basically this lady, number 17, Digitalis purpurin. It is poisonous. Apparently foxglove is also called a witch's bow. Oh, symbolic, a wish, deception, I'm ambitious only for you, uncertainty, mystery, occupation, statelessness, youth. There's a legend that fairies wear Digitalis purpuris blossom as mittens. According to superstition, if you pick one, the fairies will be offended. Medieval witch keeps them growing in the gardens because they are regular ingredients of spells, which is, I guess, why you get the name Witch's Bell. I'm gonna draw one right here. Let's see. I want a hood for this person. This is such a ridiculous hood, but I'll fix it later. And let's see, body, skirt. Yeah, that works. At one time, Welsh housewives, according to this book, would create a black dye using its leaves. They would use it to paint frost lines on the outside of the house to fend off evil. It's also believed to be a favorite of fairies because they like to wear the flowers as hats, not just gloves. That is so cute. Like, here I have been fawning over snapdragons. I think I should have been fawning over foxgloves, damn it. Okay. So, a lot of this meanings can be summarized with the idea of use. Not use. Youth. Like, like young people. Young people tend to be uncertain of life, which is fair. They've only been in... I guess that should be fair of everyone, honestly. I mean, we've all only been in life for so long, like... Yeah. And I should probably tell you guys the author of this. This is by S. Theresa Deutz. Spelled Stheresa. Theresa. Dietz, Dietz. So yeah. But yeah, I feel like a lot of this can be melted down to youth because youth are very ambitious. They want, like, that's very thing common with, that's something that's very, like, I can't think of the word. What that people usually say is a very a trait of the youth, the young kids. They are ambitious, they want the world at their feet. Well, they have the world, I guess, at their feet, and they want to use it, And I feel like mysterious can be used is another thing that's, like, similar to the youth, because, like, when you're young, you don't really know much, so the world is, like... Oh, I wanted it this way. The world is, like, very strange and mysterious, and yeah. But it's also associated with witches, so that's another reason for this plant to be very mysterious. Yeah. I don't know, there's a... There's a belt. I'm gonna add this to the belt, but first I'm gonna make this pot look more like the leaves of the plant. The leaves are apparently very spiky, so I'm gonna go into that a bit. And then I'm gonna add, like, something big here, just so I can add to that. I want this to be a little, yeah. I don't know. I don't really feel like drawing legs. I'm just gonna draw that. And then let's see. Yeah. Now I'm gonna work on the belt. Some of it says it represents a wish. I want a pack, like kind of like a pack right here. And the different pouches are going to be holding herbs and flowers. Yeah, like that. And then this side, I'm going to have strings with little bottles of wishes. That was not a good bottle, but... it was a good bottle. Slightly. Yeah. There we go. Now I'm gonna look up more pictures of foxgloves. Foxgloves. Let's see what I can find. Okay, so I was right about the shape. It's kind of like has like an end. The inside also seems to be patterned with splotches. So and let's see. They have very, very dark leaves, so I'm going to use these two colors to create the undercoats that I did. I'm going to dab that one up a bit. And then I'm going to erase that and mess with this one a bit. Let's see, here's the neck, right, and then let's have them 100. No, that's the wrong way to draw a hand. I'm gonna do it like this. And then do a shape like this. I have a very good idea of what I want his skin color to be. So I'm gonna draw that first and then draw the rest to match. I will draw a face actually. Yeah. And then I'll get to the color right now actually. I'm gonna have fairy wings, and kind of, you can't really tell the fairy wings, I feel like, but they were supposed to be. And then I'm gonna have like gold speckles of dust right there. Yeah. And then I'm gonna put random splotches of black. Give this person a little bit of Lego. I feel like this is what I would see if I was like mixing a dark witch's cauldron, so that's what I want a skin color to kind of look like. And then I'm gonna do, I don't know, something to match it. Yeah. Let's see, and then like I said, I'm gonna do and so far, I didn't even show you half of that. There we go. That is what we get. Let's see. Foxgloves are very pastel, which is perfect because I have wonderful bye page. Pastel highlighters, which I love and need to order more of again. So yay. Beautiful pastel highlighters. So I'm gonna use yellow, I think this is the wrong yellow, as a base for a lot of the accents. And then I'm thinking of using pink and purple as the base colors. So I need to erase all of this once I find my pencil in this mess. This atrocious mess. I'm gonna do some more erasure. Basically erase everything to give myself enough room to do everything I want. Without having to worry too much. Oh yeah, should not have done that. Oops. I can fix that though, so don't worry too much. And then let's flick it up a little, because what I'm going to do next is either going to make it really pretty or really ugly, and I have no idea which. Okay, so I just got flashbacks to like a TikTok sound, and it was basically like, I know where it was from. It's from the Rapunzel series, and I never watched it, but basically it's Flynn Rider, I guess, holding like a magical artifact and saying, I have this, and I have no idea what it's gonna do. And I feel like that's what artists feel like 90% of the time. They grab a couple different pens and be like, I have this, an idea, and I have no idea how it's gonna turn out. And it is so accurate. Okay, and then I'm gonna draw. I don't know, I want a new color in here. I'm gonna do blue. It had a blue. Here is a blue. There's a blue. And then I'm gonna do purple. And then I'm gonna make them yellow. Boom. And then I realized I just forgot the hood, but here's some like close up detail about this. Like it has like yellow padded like detail of the underneath skirt, and then yeah, some flowers, some peach mixed into there. And I think I'm just gonna do that same peach pink stuff for the hood and call it good. Then just give me a minute, because there, I need to do that before I start it on the hood, and then I'm gonna go for the rest in with pink. in detail. Yeah. That is a foxglove dress. Honestly, I feel like what I did was definitely less of going to a fancy dinner and more of a freaking anime person. But I feel like you can still like a nice, at least it's good. It's still like a nice skirt you can wear out, you know? Yeah. What time is it? I'm kind of getting hungry. I wanted to get in now. Oh wait, I was checking my things. It's almost 6 o'clock. I should probably go dinner soon. I did 1 hour and 20 minutes. I might come back afterwards, but I think I'm just going to leave it here and then maybe come back and stream again if I have time. But yeah, thank you everyone. Thanks to everyone for joining, and I hope you guys enjoyed the little fashion designs I did. I had fun doing them. I definitely need to do more fashion designs because they make me really, really happy. And yeah, I hope that everyone enjoyed this, and whoever's watching this has a good time wherever they are. And bye.